I would watch the movies and I would greatly admire the heroes. I would
Yes.
love Disney movies for the romance.
Yes. Yes.
And we don't get that fairy tale type of romance anymore. And
Hmm.
in my book, I really express in a modern setting a
Hmm.
fairy tale like romance. So there's one story that really stuck with me. My grandmother would tell it to us as a bedtime story.
Yes.
So it's the origin of Diwali. That's
Okay.
our holiday in Hinduism.
Yeah.
And the reason why we light lamps or burst fireworks is because someone's lover was in exile. Just to think about all of that and to think about where we are, and that is such a special connection because we might be the only thing in the universe that gives it meaning.
Looking for real stories of real people making a difference in the Grand Canyon State? Welcome to Finding Arizona podcast. We sit down with Arizona's inspiring entrepreneurs, creatives, and community leaders and give you a front row seat to their journeys, passions, and projects. Whether you're a local trying to find a hidden gem or just enjoy watching someone chase their dreams, Finding Arizona is your go-to place for authentic conversations with a desert twist. New episodes drop weekly, so hit subscribe and start exploring Arizona one story at a time.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Finding Arizona podcast. I'm your host, Jose, and as always, we bring in someone very special, and today is no different. Today's guest is bringing us something truly special, a blend of philosophy, romance, and a quest for meaning that's bound to get that's bound to get you thinking long after this episode ends. Joining us all the way from South Africa, now calling the U.S. home, this is author Akira. She's a storyteller who started writing as a teenager, and her passion has led her to publish her debut novel under Franklin Publishing. The title alone will grab you. It's called The Book That Will Change the World. Definitely is a bold title, but after hearing her journey and the deep questions her characters wrestle with, you might just believe it. So settle in. We're diving into love, life, and a beautiful chaos of searching for meaning with the brilliant Akira. Akira, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So I'm going to ask you the question that we typically ask everyone who comes in through our doors is give us a little bit of your origin story. I mentioned you moving great distance from South Africa, but give us a little bit more of that and growing up.
So, growing up in South Africa, it's very small. My country
Hmm.
is very small. I grew up in a small town. This is also new to me. And it was very difficult to settle in once I did move here. I'm actually a nanny. I work as a nanny.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And the people that I work with, they're very nice and they were very welcoming. So I did not feel like an outsider, and they made my entire experience more connected, and I
Hmm.
felt at home with them. I could
Very good.
create my own community, and once I got used to living in Arizona, I
Hmm.
greatly appreciated my independence and
Yes.
could explore more stuff,
That's
more hobbies
great.
that I like.
That's
So writing
great.
was just definitely one that I wanted to do more.
I I was telling you off air about how much I empathize with those who travel these and have to adapt and kind of put themselves in a new situation and kind of evolve over this transition. One of the things that I am particularly fond about knowing is a little bit of the family origin because that is the root of you and my particular family of like where my two parents were were either of your parents big writers or readers or what did they influence you at all to have this kind of passion for writing and reading?
No, my
Okay.
mom and dad are not creative at all
Okay.
in any sense.
It's
So,
perfectly fine.
but my brother, he
Uh,
would write poems and he published one in the newspaper. So it was I
mhm.
really admired him
Yeah.
from a very young age. We have a very big age gap, so he was my role model growing
Yeah.
up.
That's
And
awesome.
I'm very creative. I sing, I dance, I do musical theater, I do all this stuff. So writing is something that connects me more with my music,
Hmm.
and I love romance. And
No.
I think philosophy is very important, especially in today's world. So I
Yes.
wanted to blend in both those two genres into something that would be a very easy read for a lot
Yeah.
of people.
Where does your, I guess, love for love come into play? Were you, because for me, romance, I find myself like diving deep into movies, particularly because that's where love and romance kind of really blossoms in full dramatic, theater style. Um,
Yes.
was that the same for you? And like, what types of, entertainment were you, digesting when growing up?
So I used to watch a lot of movies.
Okay.
That's how I started off. I would watch the movies and I would greatly admire the heroes. I would
Yes.
love Disney movies for the romance.
Yes. Yes.
And we don't get that fairy tale type of romance anymore. And
Hmm.
in my book, I really express in a modern setting a
Hmm.
fairy tale like romance
Hmm.
because I think every woman, every person, I would say, deserves that.
Yeah.
And it's very hard today to date someone and have no magic.
Hmm.
I want
Yeah.
it to all be as if it was fate.
Yeah.
So my book is like that because I wrote it
Hmm.
to be that way.
Yeah.
But movies greatly did influence me. And once I got into reading in my teenage years, it just flowed.
That's
It just came
amazing.
crashing down.
Can you think of a particular, I guess, romance novel or, piece of entertainment that really like gravitated towards you?
Mm.
Or is it all just like, because I could definitely say the one that got me was the Hercules movie from Disney, the
Oh,
animated
yes.
Hercules movie. That one, because I in particular, I'll be honest, I love my son has his name's Atlas. And so that
Oh,
comes from Greek mythology. I was very big into Greek and just Roman mythology. That was something that I kind of, because of that movie, um, I find myself loving those very ancestral storytelling and stories. I find the myths so dramatic and beautiful that I just was like drawn in so much and I love them. But that's just me. It was just like I don't know, because here in the United States, I think there's a level of like appreciation for the really old stories, but I don't know about other countries as far as their take on, because especially in Africa, I imagine that there are some other stories that kind of predict predominantly retain in the countries that they are influenced by.
so I'm actually Indian.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, as you can see, but I'm
Yeah.
like, like, what are those stories like for you, and like, what kind of particularly is like just full on told throughout you the generations of your own family that kind of stick hard for you.
So there's one story that really stuck with me. My
Mhm.
grandmother would tell it to us as a bedtime story.
Yes.
So it's the origin of Diwali. That's
Okay.
our holiday in Hinduism.
Yeah.
And the reason why we light lamps or burst fireworks is because someone's lover was in exile. And
Hmm.
to for him to find his way back home, he has to follow the light
Yes.
back to his lover. So that's
Yes.
the whole story. And that is just so beautiful to me, especially with following the light back home and being in
Yeah.
exile for like 100 years or so long. I can't remember the whole folklore, but it's a beautiful origin.
Yeah. I've heard that story before actually, and that's something that is again one of those very beautiful and romantic Oh gosh, I'm like thinking about when I first heard it. I'm like, yeah, I was very much in awe of that story as far as as two individuals finding each other and leading back to each other. It's again also deep in the mix of kind of the history of your people, like how
Yeah,
much that is of, kind of a sticking point because it is a historical in historical context. So I really do appreciate you kind of giving us that much of your um, life story. So I will now kind of go back to, you're now here in the United States. How did you end up getting involved? Was it a program or something for the babysitting part of it?
yes. So I'm actually an au pair,
Okay. Okay.
and I just decided to move at 19 to the US to
That's perfectly
work as
fine.
a nanny.
I get it. I've actually met a couple of au pairs before, and I find it so, yeah, it's a beautiful like way to explore the world because you
Yes.
have this opportunity to not only bond with the family, but also they giving you an opportunity to explore, like giving you free reign to like when you're not, with the child or doing anything around the house, you can roam and really check out your surrounding areas. Can I ask you, the first time coming here, um, what was the first thing that you went out to try and explore or do? Was it just the nature, or was there any particular event that you tried to go to or something like that?
So I remember the first day I got here, I was so tired.
It's a long trip.
Yes, it was an over 19-hour flight. I was so jet lagged. So I slept and then I had the weekend off.
Hmm.
So I went to the mall and I did some
Nice.
shopping. But the
Nice.
first solo trip I did was last year in November, I think. It was November.
Uh-huh.
And then I went to San Francisco for a K-pop concert.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was just amazing. And I
I
was
I
so
find
happy.
that so fascinating in the context of things for my own life right now. So my son just found or recently found the K-pop Demon Hunter. So like that soundtrack is just like on a loop and the show or the movies
It's
is on a
everywhere.
loop. Yeah.
Yes.
And so I I I'm singing the songs. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun little part of like as a child grows and finds certain things that they're liking. It's just you have to feed that because you want them to enjoy. Because when he asked me, "Can I listen? Can I?" I'm like, "Of course you can listen. How
Yes.
can I say no to this beautiful young man?" Just like I want to enjoy music. I want to enjoy the color and the visual entertainment that is. Because I've watched the movie and it's really colorful and the animation's beautiful and it's a
Yes,
great
it's very good.
story like about singing to protect others. Like it's again overall I really do find it a great value to the entertainment that we bring to our children. So I really like K-pop is just something new that I'm like getting myself involved with. I'm like, this is just such a big thing. Like I'm getting just a little bit of a slice, but there's so much more to it. So can you give just really quickly, give me a little bit of like what that concert was? Do you have was the name a big name? Like which group was it? What was the songs that you were singing?
So the group was very big. They were 17.
Okay.
So there's 13 members and 3 units. There's a vocal, hip hop, and performance unit.
Hmm.
And they sang a lot. It was their 10-year anniversary album, I
Oh,
think.
great. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So it was very big and it was amazing. I saw them again this year, last month.
Nice.
That was in LA. It was amazing. I love them.
Oh,
They're
that's great.
so
That's great.
their songs have so much meaning about being a young person in your 20s and
Hmm.
not finding direction
Yeah.
and thinking you're running out of time. So their type of music really inspired me
Hmm.
to write a book like that, also with my experience being here without
Hmm.
my family and being, sorry, of the first time by myself alone
Yeah, of
in a new
course.
country, and it's also scary. So I try to put that individualism into my novel with my characters. And there is a K-pop song that I put in the playlist for the book
That's amazing. I
because
see, and I
yeah.
love this. I love that you're taking all these facets of your own life, whether it's, the origin folktale stories that you grew up on, the entertainment that you digested as a child, and taking those bits of romance in, and even the musical things that you're taking in right now as you've evolved into past your teenage and 20, your 20s now. You're taking all of that context and really trying to distill it into something that's yours and that people can also enjoy as well, who have similar kind of findings in life that are, you know, the same as you. Um, I think that's really beautiful because I have met a couple of inspiring authors like yourself. Like one in particular I'm drawn to like in this moment is one that was in high school that so this when we were in high school, the big thing was is this what's the dragon one, the Egron, I believe
Oh yes,
that's
I
it.
know that one.
Yes, so
Yes.
she was really into those stories and she made her own kind of she started writing a story about this kind of background of like there's an individual and they find a dragon egg and it was such a she gave me drafts of her chapters
Oh
just
wow.
because she knew that I enjoyed reading and that I enjoyed stories, and she really wanted help. Like she really wanted people to give her feedback on it. So you know, I read them. I found it so fascinating. I was eating it up. Like honestly, I was
Yeah.
like reading them so fast and coming back to her. I was like, when's the next one? When's the next one? When's the next one? And so, but I find it because she was writing in the context of our age group and she was writing it so that we could as readers for our age group and everything that she put into it in the story itself had connections to not only our life on the reservation but also the context of like growing up our age and where we live in the world. And so I find it so fascinating that these people like yourselves really try their best to pull in all sorts of different pieces of their life so that it can really sustain who they are as an author and their style and their brand. And so kudos to you to like
Thank
bring
you.
in the K-pop because that's something that you love so much that it deserves an opportunity to be connected to your stories.
Yes, it was very important to me. A lot of everything in my book, there's a lot of Easter eggs about me
Yeah.
and a lot of stuff about light and dark and
Hmm.
good versus evil,
Hmm.
and especially the meaning of life, because I think we all need to
Hmm.
answer that question. Are we doing enough to find our meaning?
Yeah. I think that's a very important aspect of, I'm still trying to, I'm still, it's a scary, well, it's one part scary for me and one part fulfilling, a, a legacy. This whole thing that you're looking at from the podcasting side all stems from my grandfather, who was a storyteller and a
Wow.
story holder for our tribe. He gave me a lot as a child and as a teen to the importance of listening and also giving back to in through storytelling. And so when he passed, I had started the podcast before he passed, but when he passed, it was even more vital to me and more important to kind of keep going and keep pushing this to the limit because I wanted so much for him to know that I was listening, that I took everything that he gave me and really took it to my own branding and my own self. Like I wanted him to know and see that everything that he did for me was important and gave me something that I cannot thank him more other than doing the work. And so this whole journey that I've been on has been I'm so grateful, but I'm also just so like I'm like every day I'm like reflecting. I'm like I hope that he knows. I hope that he knows. And I get pieces of him where I'm like he does. He really
Yes.
does. So I will ask you now, like as you've written a few chapters that I saw on your website, and what was the journey like getting a publisher involved, and what was that? What what did you have to do, and how do you look at it from this perspective, being on the other side?
So my book wasn't even finished when I
Mhm.
sent it to the publisher.
Yeah.
They were just, they had an offer where you could get a free editorial review. So I did
Okay.
that.
Nice.
And then they contacted me and we spoke about it. I explained my book. I pitched it to them. They said they were interested in it. They would like to publish it. And it was not even finished. This was all just by chance. It was, I really was panicking, like, oh my God, I gotta finish this book. I need to
Yeah.
figure out the climax. Because I had no idea. I was just having fun writing cute little dates for my characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had no idea how I was gonna finish the book. I didn't even have a title. That
Wow.
title, The Book That Will Change the World,
Yeah.
that was my motivation to finish the book.
Oh, okay.
So I would start, I had so many ideas for books when I was a teenager, but I never got around to finishing it. I couldn't even finish a chapter. So this time I said, because I'm an adult now, I need to
Hmm.
put my head down and actually, whenever I start something, I gotta finish it.
Absolutely.
So I finished it. And that was that line. Whenever I felt like giving up, I would look at it on my Word document, my title of my document, the book that will change. This is the book that will change the world. So I have to finish it, not for myself, but for the world. It needs to be out there.
What was it like telling your family about getting published or getting the offer to publish? Like, what was it like telling them that someone's actually interested and wanting to support my dream?
So everyone was very excited. My mom particularly was very shocked. She had no idea. She doesn't really have an interest in anything creative. She hates reading. She hates it, all that type of stuff. The only thing she'll watch is soap operas. I mean, I get it,
Yeah.
but she'll never read my book. I know. I know her. She'll never, unless they make it a movie. That's the only time. But my mom was very happy for me. She was shocked. She had no idea that I was doing any of this because I've been working on
Wow.
this book for almost a year now, and I
Yeah.
only told my family last month that I'm
Wow.
getting published. And my family is pretty big,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I had to tell my mom, I told my mom to tell everyone. So my dad was particularly happy. He started crying, and it was
No.
like a whole thing. Yeah, he was very
Yeah.
happy for me.
Your
My,
brother, because
yes,
he's your big influence. I would love to hear
yes.
his response.
So I was getting there. My brother, he was very happy. He was shocked. He said, "Oh my God, that's so cool."
Yay.
And thinking about it, when I told my brother, because I needed his help to make my book cover.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, my brother's a photographer. He knows a computer better than I do. Because I
Yeah.
don't know how to do tons of things. I just know the basics. At least I know how to use Microsoft Word. That's all
That's
I
the most
needed.
important part right there.
Yes. So my brother, he was so happy for me, and I was grateful for him and his help. And he's very smart. He's not someone that as much as he doesn't do much right now, he's one of the smartest people I know. I was
Mhm.
very grateful for his help. I told him that
Yeah,
he's the only one that said they'll help me, and he actually did.
that's
Because there are many
awesome.
people that when you start to get successful, you know the
Mhm.
types of people that have your back, and he was one of them.
Yeah.
So I was very happy for that.
I'm very excited that he, not only was again joyful because the reason why I one ask you brought up your mom's response and versus your brother's response versus your dad's response. Like you'll get the gamut of those kind of emotions, and it is particularly hard when it's a negative or like, especially when when it's a switched response, when like it could have gone worse, where it's like your brother could have been a little bit jealous, a little bit like,
Yes,
those types of things can come up. And so I'm so happy that the person that was a big influence in your life wants to help and did help and is helping. Uh, because again, that just rising tides help all boats sort of thing, where it's like,
yes,
you've given him a chance to grow as well by giving him a chance to, help you out. It's
yeah,
it's amazing. It's incredible because I want that for my family as well. I have a wife and a son, and so when I started this, my wife was my girlfriend at the time. Um, I particularly was very shy about telling her about this, and once I told her, it's like, hey, my weekends are kind of booked, like sort of thing where I was like, I didn't tell her why. And
yeah,
she finally like was like, why are you so busy on the weekend? And I finally mustered up the courage. I was like, oh, I got this thing and it's really important to me. It's called a podcast. And she's like, oh my God. Because back then when I was started, it's like podcasts weren't really well known.
yes,
And so she was like, oh my God, I love podcasts. Tell me what yours is. I want to listen to all of it. And so I did, and she actually, wanted to support me. And she's like, how can I help you? And for someone who, she could have looked at it as like, oh, wow, he's really into this and not, focused on me and not our relationship. She could have easily been like, yeah, you know, go do your thing. I don't want to be involved. But she really took it upon herself to be like, how can I help you? And so it turned into her being a photographer for me, then being now my producer and partner. Um, about everything. We do production work. She actually now I've taught her how to make podcasts and how to edit podcasts. And so now she's a big part of this whole business that we've started together. So it's like I run these scenarios in my head, but it's like some of the actual outcomes, it's just I find it very endearing and beautiful and romantic when someone that is, either a family member or something that is like a spouse or something like that wants to take your dream and take it and cradle it like it's their own and help you out to evolve it and make it better and make it what you really want.
yes. That's a very special connection.
Yeah. So I'm going to now give an opportunity because our probably our guests or people listening are like, give us more of the context of the story. Like, give us
Okay.
more of a breakdown of the actual thing that she's writing. So we brought up a little tidbit about like it's about, you know, this love and life and just like a lot of things that go into the. Can you give us a little bit, like a little synopsis of your characters and kind of what they're going through?
Okay, so the first character that is mentioned is Alora. She is the main female character. She is very pessimistic.
Okay.
She does not believe that life has a meaning. The only thing she believes in is death. That's
Hmm.
it. The only sure thing in life, in existence, is death.
Hmm.
She can't even muster a will to live. She's just doing it because she does exist. So what else can she do?
Yeah.
So she lives out a day. She's especially when I'm happy, when I found writing her chapters, I was like, this is like ruining my day.
Oh
She's
no.
so she's so dark and not in a twisted way, but in a hopeless way.
Hmm.
There's no hope in the world. There's just death is the only sure thing. We're just on some floating rock in space.
Hmm.
Nothing really matters. And it's like she had this panic, but now she's just given up.
Hmm.
And Daniel's the complete opposite. He is the main male character. He's optimistic, he's sunshine, he's my favorite character from
Yeah.
everything in the story. He's more of me, more like me.
Hmm.
He is a writer as well.
Oh, nice.
Yes, okay, so Laura is a university student at Columbia University.
Hmm.
She's studying philosophy. That's where the philosophy part comes in.
Okay.
Daniel, he works as a journalist for a made-up magazine called
Hmm.
Inside is Blue, and he believes that there is a meaning to life, and we are all navigating, trying to find our meaning in
Hmm.
life.
Hmm.
So con what is the word? They're contradicting ideologies ignite passion and conflict, which later evolve into love.
I love that. That is perfect. And I just really do thank you for like sharing that because this story is just really something that I'm like now I'm the characters kind of bring to light some of the questionings of, well, what do they do to meet each other? What do they do to like get better at being friends and then romantics and just all the things? So it does intrigue me. It does bring me in more to hear it from the author's point of view as well. So I'm very excited for you, and
Thank you.
this is going to be a lot of fun. And I envision it like this, where I'm like, I cannot wait to see it on a bookshelf with like the actual picture of the cover and everything on it. I'm very and your name insigniated
Yes,
on it as
I
well.
can't
So
wait.
yeah, it's going to be amazing for you. And so here's my question now as someone who's like I love being in the weeds of like life, and how do you balance writing and caretaking for a child like this? You know, these two things do take up a lot of your time, but also I've like I'm thinking about it in this context as well. Are you thinking about writing when you're caretaking? Are you thinking about caretaking when you're writing and things like that?
So I think we just got to manage our time in a specific way.
Hmm.
There's a lot of hours in a day, and if you do it right, you can do so many things.
Yes.
I work from 8 to 4, so I have a good amount of time after work to write. I
Yeah.
don't wake up early. I could never do that. I did it for school, but I can't, like,
Yeah.
I struggle to wake up at 6 today to get
Yeah.
ready. I could not. So when I'm with my kids, I do think of writing. I do think of, I'm very in my head sometimes where I just daydream, they're playing by themselves.
Hmm.
I'm thinking of what's like for my next book, I'm thinking about what's my character's names, what is their personality like, what do they do with their time?
Yeah.
That also really helped and making a mind map.
Hmm.
So I could see my ideas on a page helped. I did that after work, obviously. I cannot do that. I'm
Yeah.
watching a baby. I cannot do that while with him.
Do you do any voice notes? Like use your phone to like, or at least the idea comes in your head and you don't want to lose it and you just like jot it down or something like that?
I have to type it out. I could
Yeah.
not go back and listen to it. I think that's more work.
Hmm.
And then write my notes out from that voice note. So I'd rather just type it out. And then when I am writing, I do think, oh, I miss my host kid. He's so cute. Both of my kids are so adorable. And like they're just such babies. And it's so
Yeah.
amazing being in their lives and helping them like understand foreigners and be okay with a
Hmm.
foreigner being in their life.
Hmm.
And we just have such a great connection, all of us. I'm like
Yeah.
part of the family now.
That's
So it's
amazing.
very
I love
nice.
that. It's again, I ask these questions because I'm particularly like looking for, or at least thinking about your daily life of like, yeah, you are working and you are doing this job that allows for you to like again daydream a little bit while they're kind of playing and
Yes.
stuff like that, but also just like again, you the physical activities of like caretaking and doing this stuff, but you also like if you take them to a park, you see other parents, families, other things like that, or if like you take them to school or something like that. The process of living in the world as a writer in particular, you're influenced by that kind of daily routines of like, especially if you're very much a people watcher, you can kind of build a story from those people that you watch in the context that you bring in around you. So I just I'm like that because I am a people watcher. And
Yes.
I'm like thinking about like, what's that person life like outside of this
Yeah.
one particular moment? Where do they go to work, or like what's going to happen after them to once they leave this place? Are they going somewhere? Or are they going back to somewhere? Like what? So those are the types of things that I'm always like interested as, especially as an author and a writer. It's like, oh, where do you get your influences from? What does life do to you in the context of like your writing? And so that's always been my thing when I have authors on the show. I always like asking that because, I have had other authors who are sci-fi, like, I was like, how do you deal with
You create
sci-fi?
the
Because it's
story.
such a
Yes.
futuristic thing. So, and they just like story building is a routine for them because they've done it so much that it's easier to flex that muscle for them versus someone who's not like that, like myself. Where I'm like, that's so big, it's too big, I can't wrap my head around it. So I always find it very cool and very like, hey, you've got to do this, and now people can read it, and it's on paper, and so that's awesome.
So for me, I wasn't really influenced by the whole family orientation. I read a lot of the news, and the
Yeah.
news is very depressing
Hmm.
sometimes, wherever you look,
Yeah.
especially about climate change. I did a lot of courses while I was here on the environment,
Okay.
and it was so sad. I love to watch nature documentaries,
Yeah.
which greatly influenced my writing as well. I mention the environment a lot, and it's just so sad.
Hmm.
And I always think, oh yeah, we're all gonna die. Does not seem like there's any hope right now. The world will end soon. So even if whatever happens in the future, at least I have something permanent. I needed something permanent for myself.
Hmm.
And I remember I used to like sit on the floor and cry because I felt like I wasn't doing enough
Hmm.
for my generation as well
Hmm.
and the world in the environmental context.
Yeah.
So I tried to bring all those emotions and I harnessed my anxiety and my sadness and put it into something else. I think it's just about how you utilize your emotions
Hmm.
to motivate yourself to complete a task. So I did that and thinking that I'm an overthinker
Hmm.
and just think about every single possible scenario. So that is what Alara is like. She's an overthinker as well. She cannot understand why existence is what it is. So I also would think about that. And then I would think, wow, we're to to get out of our heads and to get out of where we are and to go out into space and think about how small we are in
Hmm.
comparison to so many other objects, the heavenly objects. I forgot the word for it, but anyway, just to think about all of that and to think about where we are, and that is such a special connection because we might be the only thing in the universe that gives it meaning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love to watch these videos of Brian, I think his name is Brian Cox. He's an astrophysicist in
Okay.
Europe.
Yeah.
And he said the universe is not beautiful unless there are people there to observe it.
Yes.
And that is so true because if there's no intellectual life that is able to create music, to write movies, to make songs, to write books, to
Hmm.
create art, then the universe means nothing. There's no
Yeah.
meaning in it because we give it meaning.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
I try to put that feeling into my book, and I really hope that my readers are inspired by that and
Hmm.
decide to take more control over their lives.
I This is something that I really do enjoy hearing from the author of how much they want it to be seen and reflected by the audience. It's just incredible that you've put it in the context of those terms, especially an astrophysicist coming into the mix of like how much we should enjoy the beauty of life and the universe by looking and reflecting at how unique our perspective is and how unique our opportunity is as intellectual beings that can uh, understand, synthesize our context, our purpose, our everything around us, and not get depressed at the what's right in front of us, like right directly affecting us, but to just overall go past it, the doors and past the box that we put ourselves in and look at the overall stakes that are, there's black holes that we can be sucked in. Our whole world could
Yeah.
be lost and things like that. But the fact that we are beings that can not only understand that that is a possibility, but also look at the small things like the evolution of a butterfly from a caterpillar and like those types of things are just truly beautiful, and we are lucky enough to visualize and see them and particularly just enjoy them for what they are. So I really, really do appreciate your sensitivity and context to writing all this stuff down. So I will now kind of push it forward a little bit as far as your journey. When this book comes out, are there anything that excites? Is there anything that's going to be exciting for you in particular past the publishing of it and having it on bookstores and in front of people? Is there something that particularly that you're thinking about in that terms of the book's out, people can see it, people can read it, people can purchase it, and now I'm here past the milestone of getting it written and published.
So I really want my readers to feel inspired by it.
Hmm.
I would love if they write reviews. You can leave a review on my website. I'll have a page for that.
Awesome.
I want to really engage with my readers and I want to know their stories. I want to know that
Yeah.
they feel so inspired by it because that's how music made me feel when I was very young.
Yeah.
And it just made me feel like I could do anything. And I want people to know they can do anything. And it's okay. It's your life. You can do whatever you need to do to feel happy.
I love that. Thank you again for sharing that part of it. I really quickly, is your intention, because I know this is gonna be funny. I'm a big audiobook guy, so it's like I don't
Yeah.
know if you intend for it to be an audiobook or if you're going to be the person reading it, because some authors really do want to read the book themselves or they'll hire out. But it's like, do you intend it to be an audiobook version, and also do you intend to be the person reading the pages?
So with the audiobook, my publisher does want it,
Okay.
and I'm okay with it being an audiobook. I'm not an audiobook person. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that,
totally fine.
yeah, it's just weird. It's too real if it's an audiobook. I'd rather it just stay as fiction.
Okay.
But I might be the person doing it, but I also don't know the entire process.
Hmm.
So I would say yes, it's a possibility.
Okay.
If my publisher pushes me for it, sure, like I can
Yeah.
do it. And one thing that I was really grateful for,
Mhm.
I don't really care who publishes it so much as long as they really believe in what I'm trying in
For
my
sure.
mission, in what I want the world to know about this book. So my publisher is very good with that.
Hmm.
And as long as like it's gonna be an ebook, it's gonna be on Kindle, it's gonna be
Yeah.
on Barnes and Noble Nook, it's gonna be everywhere. So the audiobook, I'll try. I
Hey,
don't know.
yeah, I know it's a tough
So hard.
proposition to like think about because again, I look at it as like some authors really do want to be the like give me like I want it to be read a certain way, or some are like no, I don't have the voice for it, so I want
Yeah.
it to be very dynamic and get a professional to read it, sort of thing. Uh, but yeah, everyone's a little bit different. I just know from the context of like my own style of, you know, because I do this podcast thing all the time,
Mm.
I retain the stories, the information a little bit longer, or it's easier on my brain because I love listening to music. I love listening to audiobooks. All of that is very my brand and my thing because again, again, audio is just somehow that's how my brain works. It's like it just takes in when it listens to any story or any music. I just take it in and can kind of hold on to it longer. And I like it. It's not for everyone. I know
Yes.
that for sure, but it's definitely something that once audiobooks started coming out, I was just like, or even as a tape when they were on tape,
Yeah.
like I would listen to books on tape. So I am very much like on board for like audiobooks and that style of like journaling and taking a story and making it a audio context. The other thing I wanted to ask you, and this will be kind of like the final question, is like you brought up more writing and a different story and new characters and things like that. Are you going to stay in the same romanticism and kind of like, are you going to stay in the same genre? Or are you looking to expand or try something new after this?
So my next one is gonna be fantasy, a bit of philosophy. I mean philosophy is just there's so many things you can talk about
Yeah,
and I love it. So it's gonna be philosophy, fantasy, and romance.
awesome. Well,
Mainly romance in this part though. The bit more. Mhm. Yeah.
I do really appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time and just kind of diving in with us as far as your story and who you are. I have high hopes for you. Like
Thank you.
this is really great that you've taken such a big leap in your life, not only to be here in the United States, but also just taking something that you were definitely passionate about. I can see that and wanting it to be explored more and more and more and more. So keep going.
Thank you.
I really do respect this and really appreciate who you are wanting to give these stories out to the masses. So with you, I know that you're going to have a lot of things because you're still young. You have a lot more of life to coming at you, and I'm very excited to see the evolution from this story to the next, to the next, to the next. And I have high hopes and kudos and congratulations, Akira.
Thank you so much. That's very nice of you.
I
I'm
appreciate it.
very happy. I just want, I can't wait for people to read it. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I can't wait for feedback. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
the reviews.
When it comes out, please let me know again when it's like fully like the book is out and everything because I would love to put it on our newsletter so that people can go out and find it again and just make sure that they're buying their own copies, especially if like you do a special on your website if you like want to I know some authors like if you buy it from my website, I'll sign it for you and then it'll be shipped to you directly and you'll have a nice little signed book. So please let me know when that comes around because I would love our audience to be able to get it directly from you.
Of course, I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Akira. Before you go,
Yeah.
please let everyone know where they can find you online. Let them know the website, social medias, all of that. The floor is yours.
Okay. I don't have this memorized. Is that
No,
okay?
not to worry. Hold on, give me 1 second. I think I
Okay.
had it in, no, no, I don't have it right in front of me. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, here it is. Okay. Akira. Akira's Akira Singh. How do you say your last name? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's Sing.
Singh. Okay.
Yeah.
Akira Singh author.com. It's AKIRASINGH author, AUTHOR.com. And thank you again for being on the show. I do appreciate your time. It's a weekend. Everyone knows I record on the weekends. Before we go, we do have our little outro. You can listen to every one of our podcasts at findingarizonapodcast.com. All social media is under Finding Arizona Podcasts. And then last but not least, we always end our conversations with a kisses, hugs, and belly rubs to our four-legged friends. And we will see you next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.